Hi there, my name is CarmelHauckT. My student number is CarmelHauckT00701793. This is my self-reflection video about creating some rewarding client connections. So to start, I wanted to talk about who specifically is on the healthcare team. So we definitely have receptionists. Those are the ones that are triaging our phones. They are making sure that appointments are being scheduled where they need to be. They are the first line as far as speaking to our clients. Then we have our combo team of some registered veterinary techs and some veterinary assistants. These are the ones handling the patients, building those connections, vaccines, blood work, etc., where they are hands-on with the clients and the patients. And then obviously we have our veterinarians who are the ones treating and making game plans and leading the rest of the healthcare team. But that's where a lot of people would stop, is that everybody that's on the healthcare team? Or is there anybody else? There definitely is. Who did we forget? The clients, the owners, the moms and dads of our patients are one of the most important parts of the veterinary healthcare team, and they are often overlooked. They are advocates for their animals. They are literally their voices, bringing them to the vet, making decisions for them for their care. They are the eyes and ears watching at home to let us know if there's any signs of discomfort or illness or changes in their pet's regular day-to-day base. They know their pet better than we can. They can point out if somebody is sick. They know if somebody is hurt. And in the end, it's their decision for how the pet is being treated that day. If they want to go home and do nothing, it is up to them. It is how they leave the appointment that affects the pet the most. So these are some foundations of a client relationship that I think are the most important that need to be cemented throughout the whole time. So first one is knowledge. So we are responsible through all levels of the receptionist through to the vets are responsible to empower our clients with the knowledge that they need to make informed decisions about their pet's care. So when we build relationships with the clients and their pets, we also get that familiarity with their medical history and their needs. So if clients feel like they understand truly what they are being asked of or what they are being explained, they can make those better decisions about their pets and feel better about those decisions. And now one of my favorite things about knowledge when it comes to client relationships is remembering everything it is about that client. Once you get to know them a bit more, you can greet the owners by their names. You can greet the dog right by his name. You know what food he's on. You know what he did last summer. You know their medical history and their needs. And skipping that whole file reading process at the beginning of an appointment and going right to where you left off can save time. It makes the client feel valued. And it feels nice. It feels nice to be able to build that relationship over the years. And what comes with a relationship is trust. Trust doesn't come from just one event. Usually it's typically built from multiple experiences or visits between the owner, the patient, the vet team on all levels. And if we can create a mutual feeling of trust between everyone, our clients are more likely to accept our knowledge-based recommendations as well, because they are now trusting our opinions. And all of these together kind of combine into value. So once we spend the time to educate our clients and build their trust, and their level of value will come up too. So when we make them genuinely feel like they're part of the medical team, they are more willing to get what is needed to done at the end of the day. So how do we make these connections? These are a couple of things that I would like to focus on and make better in my general world too. So number one is understanding that everyone's human. So remember to never judge. Everybody makes mistakes. We all have feelings and emotions, and we're all vulnerable. This is an important thing to remember on all accounts, clients to vets, vets to techs, all sorts. Everybody is human, and everybody should be treated as such. Number two, I think it's important to take the extra time to note the small details. So again, it could be as small as Buddy likes liver treats. Make a note, document it somewhere so that next time Buddy comes in, oh, it looks like here he says he likes liver treats. You can instantly kind of get that familiarity with the clients. Make a note if they just had a baby girl, write the baby girl's name down, or if they have a cabin out in Kenora, ask how their summer was. It's the small stuff. People like to feel remembered. People like to feel important. Now, number three, I do all the time. I find you have to adapt your questions to the personality or the mood of the client sometimes. So I know that there are some clients where they are straight to the no nonsense. They just want to get it done in and out as quick as possible. And I can cater to that, no problem. And then we have the other clients that would like to chat for 3-4+ hours if I could. And I know that I have to adapt my questions differently for them too, to keep on focus for the patient. Now, one thing I really liked about the example was the simple, vague opening question of how are things at home? That is a perfect way to gauge how the rest of your appointment's going to go. If you instantly ask how are things at home and Mr. No Nonsense Bob simply says, oh, dog's got an ear infection, then we're going right to the ear infection, get a swab in there, get them done. Now, if you're talking to someone else, how are things at home? Oh, well, we were at the lake a couple weeks ago and Fluffy was swimming and he loves swimming. Oh, do you remember the last time when I told you that he was swimming and he dunked his whole head underwater and then it goes on and on and on, right? So you kind of have to adapt your questions to how the client's going to respond to them. And that's perfect. That simple, how are things at home, opens it up to let the client know how they want to be treated. And I think that's excellent. And that all sums up to what do all the members of the healthcare team, including the owner, have in common? We're all advocating for the animal's best interest. At the end of the day, they're the only thing that matters is the animal. And everybody along the way is only advocating for the patient's best interest. And we can do that together. So one of the biggest ways that we can grow or build our client relationships, I believe, is through our patient handling. So when owners recognize that we are genuinely interested in them and their pets, they feel taken care of. So this reflects in our clinic, in our cleanliness, in our handling skills, in our exam rooms, in every sense of the clinic, from the smells, the sights, etc. It all comes into an account and makes a whole picture. So I am a huge believer in using the gentle handling or fear-free practices, as this reflects genuinely being taken care of. Owners will often take on their pet's emotions at the vet as their own, especially if it is a stressful or scary or sad time. So if we limit the stress on the patient, this often lifts the stress off of the owner too. So letting us have that slow down, responding to the animal's needs, genuinely taking care of each patient provides our proof of knowledge, trust, and value for the client. And what is gained from a client relationship? A strong relationship often will determine if a client brings their animals back for regular checkups, if they'll follow treatment guidelines, and if they accept recommendations with an open mind. This means that at the end of the day, our ability to provide the best possible patient care solely relies on our relationship with an animal's owner, as well as our medical knowledge and skill. And it allows us to enjoy our career that much more. Time and time again, we are seeing the veterinary industry is a hard-working career with burnout, with not a lot of people sticking into the career, and that's tough. It's a hard day when you have to rush through exams, you don't have time to chat with your clients, you don't get to know them, it's just bang, 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 get it done. Nobody enjoys that. You're missing lunch breaks, you're tired, you're exhausted, you're burnt out. That is all eliminated if we have the ability to build these relationships and trust and knowledge. It opens up enjoyment in our career again. That's perfect. So I have a couple things about compassion fatigue versus compassion satisfaction. These are two opposite direct correlations that we have, and they both tie into the client relationships too. So when we have poor client relationships, whether it's due to understaffing, scheduling, or just like how many pets need to be seen in a day, we can end up with compassion fatigue. So like I was saying, this leads to like a lack of empathy, feelings of burnout. If not corrected, staff's going to leave. Nobody's going to be happy. So if we have the time to build these healthy relationships, this will lead to a more enjoyable day where we can feel fulfilled and satisfied. And that's the satisfaction versus the fatigue. So all in all, this puts us in a huge cycle. We have happy patients, which leads to happy clients, which leads to happy techs, happy vets, happy managers, happy practices, to happy clients, to happy patients. It literally is all a cycle. So all in all, this leads to a happy cycle, and that is what all humans need, is a cycle of knowledge, trust, and value in each other and in our veterinary team, and that'll lead to just literally happiness all around.